Oh, that's interesting. There's a third option here now. Start new game in existing world. So this is the first time I've had an extant world that does not have an active fort in it. So if I say start new game in existing world, yeah, it's this one. No, it actually said one fort. Like there's a fort sitting, like that is mine, that is just sitting there active in the world. Okay, and actually, yeah, we can go back into Legends mode. And funny enough, if I actually look at sites, and I scroll near the bottom, where is... It was Lance something? Lance Cloister, there it is. Oh, look at this. And this is the thing, you can't check this while you have a fort going, but one of our visiting goblins, oh wow, was here under a false name and has corrupted one of our dwarves in order to have an agent. They threatened our agent and now have them under their like control, basically. This is something that was not known to us as the player. Oh, I love this last note. I get the... All right, it took me a second to understand what this last note was. The crypts of wine of the trades of scraps of the settlement of Lance Cloister regained their senses after an initial period of questionable judgment. That questionable judgment, by the way, that would be me. Me controlling them is their period of questionable judgment. That would be me. So yeah, that's just the note that basically says that I returned them to the game world gen. That's the note that I returned them to the world control. The initial period of questionable judgment is my attempts to control them. So now they're you know, they've quote regained their senses and they're now running themselves, basically. That's really funny. That's super funny. Holy hell. Yeah, so it's gonna allow some time to pass. It's gonna jump to the next year. So it's going to jump to the next year, and then it's going to let a few weeks pass. So some time is going to pass, but not much. So we're going to skip this tutorial. We don't need a tutorial. So the first thing I want to do is I need to find a good multicultural area and like dwarven nation, right? And I think that's going to be these guys up here. Because they're near both human and elves and are, you know, on friendly terms with both of them. So the reason why that's going to be important is for our specific embark. So we're going to choose Origin Civilization, and we are going to select these guys, the Closed Boulders. Okay. So the Closed Boulders currently consist of like one main mountain home, and a whole bunch of like dwarven hillocks all around this like all around these like hills of this like northern continent, right? Now an interesting little note here is that this is going to be cold. We're way up north. This is going to be cold. But what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and set up on a relatively scenic location. So I want to put myself on the coast. Probably down like here, probably. Depends on what we see when we take a look at the like situation for aquifers and stuff like that. So let's find an embark location. So now we get into the actual world gen. We're about a half hour into this stream. That's fine. We are going to get into the actual, like, why this is interesting. So my thought here is that instead of the standard embark, which is like, you know, we have dwarves, they want to dig deep. They want to, you know, get all the metal and forge stuff and create cool crafts and stuff like that. I am looking through the skills menu and I'm, you know, creating these characters. And whenever you give me a game with a huge list of skills, immediately my brain sort of goes, all right, crucial and labors, those are for the most of the gameplay and cool stuff like that. And I get combat, but what the hell is other and why? And I'm very interested in anything in this other category because these tend to be things that the gameplay is not generally focused around, which means that in my brain, I'm like, oh, I want to do cool stuff with this. So in here, you have things like Swimmer, which is just cool in case they get knocked into water or anything like that, or, you know, prevent them from being drowned. You have all of the doctoring stuff, Wound Dresser, Bone Doctor, Suturer. You have Crutch Walker, so in case they get injured and have to walk around on crutches, that's actually a skill, right? Dwarves without this skill move slower on crutches than dwarves who have this skill, right? You have Persuader, Negotiator, Liar, Intimidator, all these like social skills that like your leader needs and that your broker needs, right? Appraiser, things that your broker needs. Organizer, things that your like bookkeeper needs. Record keeper for your bookkeeper, right? Conversationalist, comedian, flatterer, consoler. These are all making your dwarf, you know, spread good feelings to other dwarves near them, right? You know, pacifier, schemer. Then you have things like student, how quickly they learn other skills, you know, concentration, how much they can like focus on tasks and stuff like that. Then as you get lower than that, you end up with a whole bunch of skills. Writer, poet, speaker, musician, singer, keyboardist, string instrumentalist, wind instrumentalist, percussionist, dancer. These are bardic skills. Skills that help the dwarf perform, right? And then you get even weirder ones down here. Things like astronomer, mathematician, geographer, optics engineer, fluid engineer, right? I don't actually know what gameplay effects these have, but they're really interesting to look at. But really, these ones here, these are your bardic skills. And there are, you know, you can make a tavern, and the dwarves themselves will come hang out at that tavern, and other people will come in from other lands to hang out at this tavern, and people with these skills will perform, and it will spread these good positive vibes and stuff like that. It will give good feelings, good thoughts to other dwarves, right? So my thought became, what if those are usually very like edge of your like gameplay, right? They're just there just to play around with. You know, they're there to provide some good positive thoughts, you know, to help maybe offset the effect of some negative thoughts or something like that, right? But what if I made that like the central theme here, right? So you start with 7 dwarves to start out with. My thoughts here, here's our storyline going in. A group of 4 dwarven bards have decided that they want to establish the swankiest outdoor tavern right on the edge of this sort of human civilization with whom they are trading partners, and they want to have dwarves and humans come in and be like a center of trade, and also a center of maybe you know, just a big outpost out in the world that's like a big tavern along the river, right? And they're going to be known far and wide as the best like inn and tavern you've ever seen, and it's going to be, you know, helmed up by these 4 sort of dwarven bards who are going to have this, you know, they're sick and tired of traveling around dwarven society, going from like these little dwarven hillocks to little dwarven hillocks, especially in this tiny little community that we have up here, right? Because it's a very small community. It's a very small dwarven settlement up here, very small dwarven civilization. And it's just a bunch of random little like 3-building hillocks, right? And it's all a little bit too podunk for these dwarves, for these dwarven bards, right? So what they're going to do instead is they're going to start their own massive tavern, and it's going to be the swankiest place you've ever seen. It's going to be out there on the frontier for travelers and traders to come stop at on the road, back and forth between some of these like dwarven civilizations and the human civilization. So that's what we're working with here. So out of our 7 dwarves, I decided that we're going to start with 4 of them be functionally useless bards. That's my starting point. I'm going to start with 4 of these 7 bards. 4 of these 7 dwarves are bards, and they're going to start with no functional skills, except I'm going to load up a whole bunch of skills in these various bardic persuasions. Then they will have hired 3 with the last of their coin that they've made, and they're going to have hired like 3 mercenaries, basically 3 contractors to work with them, right? And I went back and forth in my head about what I want these 3 to be. I still haven't fully decided. We're going to pretty much figure them out as we go. So we're going to start with our bards, though. So our first one here, Eneth Rakusthum, is going to be a poet. It's going to be a wordsmith. And a poet. Be a skilled poet and a, let's see, is it speaker? Is that the only one? Yeah, he's going to be a skilled speaker. Right? So that's our 10 skills. You only get 10 skills, right? So he's a competent wordsmith, a competent speaker, and a skilled poet, right? That's going to be his thing. Although actually for this one, I think I also wanted... I think I'm going to take off of here, and I'm going to put one in on conversationalist. Because this is going to be like our leader, right? This is going to be the person who's going to be our town's leader, right? So then our second one, this one is going to be a singer. So we're going to take a look at singer here. We're going to go musician. We're going to put 2 points into musician. We're going to put like 4 points into singer, right? And that's going to leave 4 left. They're also going to be a dancer. Let's put 2 into dancer. And I guess they're also going to have a couple of more social skills. So I think for this one, we're going to say they're going to be a... Well, because these 4 need to also take the like skills of our so I think we're going to do something like organizer. All right, the third one is going to be 2 points into musician. We're going to go you are going to be a keyboardist. You're going to be our record keeper. We're going to put 2 points into record keeper. And you're also going, oh, no, sorry, you're record, yeah, so record keeper. So I guess we'll also put, like, we'll put another point into musician. Competent musician. And with your last 2 points, I think we're going to go... Let's go competent record keeper. I didn't expect to actually have an extra point that I'm not really confident where it will go. But I think we're just going to stick it into your main skill here, which is keyboardist. We're going to, boom, skilled. Okay. And the fourth and final one. This one, so we have a clerk and an administrator. And so this person is mostly going to be... You're going to be a stringed instrument player. Couple points in musician. And you're going to be like a broker as well. Like you're going to be the person who, like, you're going to be the face of the party in the sense of like, you're going to be the one who shows up to every tavern and like negotiates their fee for the night and stuff like that. So you're going to have points in things like negotiator and appraiser. So you're going to effectively be our trader. All right, then we have our actual, like, dwarves that have useful skills. Dwarves that actually do something with actual function. So these are like the people that were hired by these other 4. So first of all, we need a miner. We need a skilled miner. And I think with miner, we're also going to go with, like, stone carver. Or sorry, stone crafter. Well, let's say stone, one on stone cutter as well. And you're also going to be weaver, dyer, trapper, tanner. No, I don't think we need any of these right away. Cook, miller, no. No. You're going to be... I think 2 points in engraving and one more to proficient miner. Okay, you're going to be our miner. The second person, I think I need them to be, I'm not going to say woodcutter or carpenter. Normally I would, but I'm going to say no. Oh, wait, mason. Hold on, we're going to take one up. We're going to put one on mason. Mason, I think, is important. So this person is going to be, I think... Well, let's look at labors. What labors do we think are going to be primarily important? So the other person is, our third person is going to be a hunter. Like, they're going to be all about getting food. They're going to be like a survivalist in general. They're going to be a general survivalist. So this person is going to be more like... my big thoughts for this was going to be like gem cutter and gem setter. Because it's supposed to be swanky, right? Like, we want it to be... We go engraver as well. Like, the idea is that everything's going to be super swanky, so we want, like, somebody who can deal with cutting gems and stuff like that. Gelder, shearer, spinner, presser... we do need to have... what makes sense to go along with that? Maybe wood crafter, just to like... Yeah. Okay, and then this person's going to be like our hunter. So you are going... So you're going to like a general survivalist, right? So you're going to have like 1 point in Fisher Dwarf. You're going to have... Mechanic, potter, believer, miller, fisher, herbalist. You're going to have 1 point herbalist. You have a point in cook. Cook and brewer, yeah. Brewer is actually a great point. I don't really have a good brewer. I think this person's going to have too many skills they're going to need to do. So this person's going to be an ambusher. You need to have 3 points in ambusher. Let's not say herbalist. Let's say cook and brewer. Where was brewer? Is brewer under crucial? Boyer, brewer. Brewer, and then you are going to actually have... Mark's dwarf? Spear, hammer, shield, armor, wrestler, kicker, siege engineer. Yeah, you're Mark. So we're going to put 2 points into Mark's dwarf, 1 into wrestler. Okay. So you are our hunter, fisher, general food collector. We have a miner and a jeweler. And then we have 4 of our bards. All right. So now we go into items. So what items are we taking with us? Now, they give us lots of points. There's actually quite a few possible things to take with us. So one thing I want to see do we have is, so we're bringing quivers, but no All right. So we're bringing quivers, but no crossbows. So let's go crossbows. I want to take 2 copper crossbows. And I'm going to take a bunch of copper bolts. Let's take like 25 just to get us started. All right, animals are not really important. We're not really going to do a lot with animals, at least not right away. But we do need, basically we need just a couple things that are going to pull. Really the only thing I'm going to look for are the things that are like pulling like our wagon, right? Just the couple things that we had bought to pull the wagon. So I'm going to say like, I don't even necessarily want, well, let's do a breeding pair just to be, we'll do a male and a female yak cow. Those are the only items we're gonna, or the only animals we're gonna bring with us. Don't necessarily need 3 rope. Don't necessarily need 3 quivers. Bags, some plump helmets, plump helmet spawn. I think I want more plump helmet spawn. We go up all the way up to 20 on that. How about if I do pigtail? Ooh, oh, it's only on, okay. Pigtail seeds. Let's go with a few more of that. And what is it? I think it's, let's say sweet pod. Just enough to get things started. So we're bringing along 2 picks, even though we only really need 1. Let's see. What else do we think we might need? Cloth. Not going to bring along any wood or bars. Not going to bring along any gems. Seeds, anvils, weapons, training weapons, ammo, trap components, digging implements. I mean, our survivalist might realistically already have a set of equipment for himself. So if we were to like... let's find a relatively reasonable... material here. Something like leather armor. Come on now. Let's say like pig leather cap. Pig leather gloves. Pig leather high boots. Something like that. Let's bring some meat along with us just so that we've got that. Shields, toys, instruments, of course. Ah, this is a thing that I did not look up. I meant to look up. So we brought a keyboardist and a string instrument player. So I need to find out what instruments are associated with each, because they all have weird names. There we go. All right, that's a full embark. So we're now pretty much ready to go. I'm actually going to save this profile. Save it. Let's check the fortress name. Let's try and come up with a decent name. Haunted Sound, maybe? Haunted Sound. Glimmer fragment. All right, that's what we're gonna go with. Done. And we are. Oh, I like that. The Jewel of Trouble. Oh, done. Take it. All right. So after like 45 minutes now in the creator, we have an embark. We brought a bunch of extra seeds and some extra food and meat and stuff like that to try and keep us alive at the very beginning. Packed on a little bit of extra booze. And mostly where we spend a good chunk of our points, though, is on the 3 instruments that we had available. All 3 of these instruments are... I think all 3 of them are considered keyboard instruments, so... Not a lot of opportunity. We had to like go back in and change our dwarves to being primarily keyboardists instead of anything else, but we will have to go along with what we've got here in this civilization. So once again, I'm actually just going to save this as profile 2 and overwrite it, just in case any of these things that we changed actually do it. Not sure what problems is, but it seems grayed out, so. All right, we're going to go ahead and embark. So here we go. Oof, it is already snow. A dwarven outpost, you have arrived. Journey from the mountains home to the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Party of 7 make an outpost with the glory of all Orelator. No supplies left. Labor comes sustenance. We are Demorvad Darezneth. Haunted sound, the glimmer fragment. Strike the earth. So, here's what I need to think of first, because what I want to do is, again, unlike a normal... The hell? An open space. This is like a gorge that's like 8 Z levels deep. I thought this was just like a surface river, but it says open space when you hover over it. So this is actually like a gorge. Like this sinks down like 8 levels before it lands on like snow-covered ice. So like even in the best of days, like even if it was like summer and this were like thawed, we would have a hell of a time getting access to this water. We have to go like all the way down. This is a very vertical area. This is a very heavily vertical area. Also, what the hell is this on this map? Clay loam wall. It's an ice wall. What the hell? You'll want a bridge over that. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want people falling into that shit. I am... Wow. Yeah, so this is like... So this gorge stays at approximately the same level. Yeah, so this river is all on the same Z level. So basically, like, as this mountain ascends, right? As this mountain climbs, it's just like climbing up over this like deep entrenched gorge. So as this sort of goes up, it's just like a further and further drop at each level into like the water. That's a very interesting like bit of geography here. Yeah, iced up puddles. All right, so instead of, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna dig into the ground, obviously, for our dwarves. But here's the important bit. As much as we as dwarves, also, by the way, we're at elevation 8 here. Like, we are at a really low point. Our last embark, it was at like, on the surface, we were at Z level like 32, right? Which is one of the reasons why we had so far down to dig before we hit caverns. We are going to be pretty close to freaking cavern layer right off the bat here. So I am going to dig down into the ground, and that's where our dwarves are going to live and work and stuff like that. But the actual tavern is actually going to be a surface building. So the first thing I want to do is I want to decide, first of all, whether or not I'm building it out of stone or wood. I think we are still dwarves, so I think we want to build it out of stone. So we're gonna try and build it out of stone. So we're gonna need to construct a lot of stone. We're gonna need to get a lot of stone. We're gonna need to cut it into a lot of blocks and stuff like that. And we're gonna have to cut down some of these trees just so that we have a spot to put the. But I think like overlooking, because you can even like build out structures. So like I can imagine like putting the main building like here, and then having like an over view, right? Like putting like a viewing. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here. Like a viewing deck out over the plunge. I think that could be really freaking cool. I think that would be really awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my first set of stairs. We're going to put it like here, I think. It might be a little ballsy. We're going to go, yeah, it's okay. So this is the aquifer layer. So I actually have almost nowhere to go before we hit the aquifer layer. We're going to dig down to here. And we're also going to start designating some trees to be chopped. Not many of them, just a few. And we're gonna grab like, I don't know if any of these things are actually harvestable, but we'll see if we get anything from harvesting them. Okay. So one of the scary things is that, yeah, we're like on the aquifer level as soon as we get down. Now, it's only a 2Z level aquifer, but I've got access to basic, because this is all loam. So I've got access to basically no stone until I get through this layer. So I'm going to have to build like a wooden structure to get through the light aquifer, which is not really what I wanted, but it is what it is. Let's see what kind of stone we have access to. So this is sand, this is loam. We've got jet, because our dwarves can just like walk to the edge of the like cliff and look down and just see what is exposed rock is here. So like there's lots of good stuff. Jet, limonite, there's tetrahedrite over here. We got access to lots of cool stuff right away. Rock salt, jet, lots of limonite, more tetrahedrite, tons of limonite. We are in iron right away. There's some exposed gems over here, onyx opals. Tetrahedrite, more limonite, jet, rock salt, jet. So it's primarily rock salt and jet. As we go down. That's like the main stone we have access to. All right, so we need to get these trees chopped down. Once we get a bunch of trees chopped down, we can start looking at all right. The tavern named the Haunted Sound out of jet. I mean, that's kind of cool. I do like that idea. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to stare down one more level. Yeah, damp stone located. I know. I know. You want to cancel that. Oh, you missed one. And now we have to dig one out. Construction. Wall. Construction. Wall. Construction. Wall. We got to do this early. I was actually kind of hoping to avoid doing this too early, but we got to do this early. Not for, what am I doing? Construction. Almost entirely because I just don't have access to like anything until we get through this this aquifer layer. One more layer. Yeah, yeah, you canceled all of that. That's fine. Okay. Construct wall. Yeah, you can't reach there yet. Construct wall here. I just dropped a bunch of ash logs, so might as well do it out of that. Construct wall. Ugh, we've already got water flowing in. Construct wall. Okay. Now this should all get closed in before it floods. Okay. Good. And now if we go ahead and go down one more, we should be... Yeah, we're under the damp stone. And now we're going to do an actual stone layer. Okay. So let's go down one more. Just so that we're full level removed from the aquifer. That way it's not directly above our heads. Okay. Cool. We're through the aquifer layer. That's the like scariest part right there. So now we have this very nice deep loam layer, which we're going to turn into our this is going to be like where we're going to start getting like food and drink and stuff ready for the fort, and also where we're going to do all of our farming. So we have to start with our farming line here. So if I start from like here and go up a bit, and then I like do this like 5 by 5 room there, and 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 there. We'll do you. Start a couple of farms. Oh, stopped short of actually clearing the whole thing. All right, hold on. We're gonna go down to this layer and we're gonna start opening up a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna do is do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do something like this, just to open up a whole bunch of space. So now we're gonna open up a whole bunch of space downstairs. That's gonna be like our first just dumping zone. We're just gonna get everything off of the wagon. Very inefficient process there, my friend. We're gonna go farming, farm plot. Farming, farm plot. Oh, it's paused. Get them in here, get these farm plots set up. You are going to be plump helmets all year. Plump helmets, plump helmets, plump helmets. And once this one's set and done, it's probably going to just be, generally I try and make my first one, let's see, where's it? Pigtails in the summer and autumn, and then probably just dimple cups for the other seasons. Could not find hunter cancels return kill, could not find path. So our hunter's already hunting, which is probably actually not good. I actually want to go into the laborers menu, and I want to, yeah, work details. I'm actually going to turn hunters, I'm going to say nobody does this. Don't need people hunting yet. It is not necessary right away. So we do have access, so our last fort was like obviously inundated with rock salt. So this one's gonna have a lot of rock salt as well. But it's also gonna have access to a lot of jet, and jet is gonna be really exciting for us. We're gonna set an order to mine out here, and then we're gonna do like strip like that. Now we're going to put a workshop. We're going to first thing I think that's going to be really important is for us to get a stoneworker shop going up here. We'll spend the rock. We'll just spend a whole block of rock salt, a whole boulder of rock salt on it. One of the reasons why I think getting a stoneworker's workshop up first is because we're going to want to turn all these jet boulders into jet blocks, because that's what we're going to make our tavern out of, because I think that's going to look really freaking cool. So I'm actually going to set a task to rock blocks, but specifically make jet blocks. And we're going to do that like... I'm going to start right off with a bunch of these. Jet. 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 And jet. So yeah, we're going to try and get that going. Oh. Oh, there are like bees buzzing around in here somehow? A colony of bumblebees just in the ice? Just sitting on the snow on the ice? It seems unlikely, but okay. Oh, it is snowing outside. Yikes. Why do we already have a give water job that's being canceled? Somebody already injured? Probably our hunter, huh? And somebody just threw their quiver and bolts and crossbow down. Yeah, I'm guessing our hunter already went and got himself injured. but that's not a huge issue. He will eventually recover. So on this layer here, we dig this out because we're eventually going to. We're gonna be putting our still in there to brew drinks and stuff. The next most important workshop is, of course, carpentry workshop. That's where we're gonna make beds. I'm gonna do a similar thing over here. Yeah, in the carpenter's workshop, we are going to make a few beds. 6 and 7, and then we're also going to make a bin and a couple of barrels. We've struck indigo tourmaline. Right there. Indigo tourmaline. I absolutely want to make sure we pick that up. Wait, was that the correct? Yeah, that's correct. Oh, we also apparently have saltpeter. I did not catch before because that's not exposed on the outside. We also have access to saltpeter. Okay. Yep, that's still out there ready to go. Oh, okay. Wait, this isn't... Is this a waterfall? I think this is a waterfall. Because this is ice and it's at this Z level. And it's just a sharp end here. And then the rest of it is, you know, like 8 Z levels down. So this is like a massive waterfall. This is like an 8 Z level waterfall. That's currently all frozen over. This is an incredible sight. Oh my god. It absolutely adds credence to the fact I'm going to definitely put a big like viewing deck out here so they can watch the waterfall and see the water flow. Although that makes the shape of this river very weird. Like it comes out, the water flows this way, hits, and then I don't know. I'm not entirely sure which way, just by looking at it, which way the water is probably flowing here. So like, is this like the water's flowing this way down here and it just mixes with this water coming in this way and is pushed down this way, or what? Or is it like maybe there's enough flow from here that it goes both ways? That seems unlikely. Probably this is flowing one way or the other and then this is like a tributary to it. This is a very pretty sight. We're like at the top of this like local mountain as well. Like there's the and it's quite vertical, so like it's quite high. Like this is like good rolling hills. You can like look out over the trees on the to the north up here in this like valley area up here. This would be very pretty. Like this area is incredibly pretty. One hell of a place for us to set ourselves up in. All right. And yeah, we're gonna build it all out of jets, so there's gonna be quite a lot of cool shit happening. Alright, it's been a little bit, like, what else do I want to do in terms of getting myself set up here? Well, really it's just gonna be letting the miner do his job for a little bit. Another snowstorm. Once he gets this mined out, his next goal is gonna be, we're gonna pause for a second. His next goal is gonna be, I think, yeah, this is a layer we're not really using. I think the next goal is going to be, we want to stare down from here one more level. I'm going to try and avoid hitting elevation 0, but... And we are going to make our... like, first bedroom hallway. I actually don't think I can put any more out this way. Oh, yarn chicken lost. Rip. This one actually does it this way. Okay, this is going to be our still. We're going to make sure that we've got enough drink to keep everyone happy. And we have actually just so much rock salt. I'm just going to use rock salt to make, like, trading stuff out of, I think. If I've got somebody making beds, there should already be a few ready to go. Oh, yeah. Actually, one thing I don't have going yet is doors. Specifically, I want you to make rock salt doors. Which sounds ridiculous, but that's a thing. Make rock salt doors. Is it like a copy-paste? Make rock salt door. A lot of clicking to like select all the right stuff at this point because I don't have a manager yet. Salt door, and then make a few more jet blocks. Use an entirely different yarn, or do I try and match the yarn I ran out of? That's always a hard question. I do not know. Oh, you stopped partway through that job. Alright, we have our still. I don't actually need to make drinks yet, because I've actually got plenty of drinks, so don't need to make them yet, so we're not going to do anything with it quite yet. Although the next step is going to be, you want to dig this out, because I actually need to put in a, oh yeah, I want to do this early now. I want to check my standing orders, kitchen, plump helmets, do not cook.